Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today is the first day of spooky week. So today I am going to be creating hopefully a kind of spooky pumpkin skeleton clown thing. I'm not really even sure what to call this. I've been looking on Pinterest at different things that I've been wanting to do. So I am going to do a voiceover for this one, but I hope you guys enjoy the turnout.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second time of me doing this voiceover, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet and try not to blab a whole lot. So we are going to first start off with the Benefit Professional Pore Eliminating Primer. You can get this at Ulta. I believe you can also get this at Sephora. I get it at Ulta preferably. Ulta's like my best friend. Then we're going to go in with the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation in the shade Light number 2. You can get this at Sephora. I believe it's $49, so it is pretty expensive. However, I have had this foundation for probably about 4 years now. It's probably not even technically, I don't know what you would say, but in the makeup world, not expired anymore. It's probably long gone, but I still use it because I do really like it, and this is honestly like the best foundation I have ever purchased for a very expensive foundation. So, and I am just using it with a Real Techniques beauty blender that is slightly damp, and we are just applying a very thick, generous coat to this because we do need a very good base for what we will be doing later on. And you can see I took my necklace off because I am going to be blending this all the way down my neck. Usually when I do makeup looks like this, I do tend to blend everything down my neck and pretty much onto my chest. Later on, I do end up stopping around my neck because I put a shirt on to where like I didn't need it on my chest, so that's why I stopped. Then we're going to go in with the Airspun Loose Face Powder. This is, I believe, shade number 2. It's the second lightest shade. It's not translucent, but it does have a slight color to it. And we're going to take just a disposable little sponge, which you can get in a pack at Target or CVS or pretty much any drugstore or makeup store you can go to. I get them at Target just because they're a lot cheaper. And we are just going to set our entire face. Now, typically when I'm doing my normal makeup, I only set where I get the greasiest on my face, which is typically under my eyes, my nose, my forehead, and my upper lip. Because that's just where I sweat the most on my face, and that's usually where I set. But for this, we do want to set the whole thing only because we are going to be using face paints later, and it's going to just kind of help the face paint not slide all over your face. Then I just took a cheap e.l.f. $3 black brush, not blush, and I just dusted off any excess powder that's on my face because we don't want to look like a powdered donut or a dusty marshmallow. Then I went in with the Revolution Special Effects Makeup Palette. This is a water-based face paint. I got this at Ulta probably 2 years ago by now, and this palette was literally $12. And considering it's literally just a drugstore brand, I was actually extremely impressed with it, and this is actually the first time I've used it in the 2 years ago that I bought it, so I am very, very impressed with this. So first with this, I started off with the eyeshadow brush, and I just started to make the lines of the mouth. So we're basically using a pumpkin reference for this, and we are trying to create that illusion of a bigger and more wide and open mouth. And we are going to be doing a lot of shading, so eyeshadow brushes and blending brushes are going to be your best friend for this. Also, please ignore the train in the background if you can hear it. I live right by the train station, and so you can literally hear it. I'm sure you can literally hear it in the background. Anyways, so I started out by first off lining where that line is gonna go. Lining where the line is gonna go. Makes sense, right? And I ended up filling in my lips. I don't have a black lipstick yet, so that's why I use this, and that's why it kind of looks a little sheer. That is the only peeve that I have with this face paint palette, is the colors were definitely a little bit sheer. for this one, but honestly, for drugstore and if you're starting out with makeup, this is literally the best way to experiment with stuff like this because it's cheap and it's inexpensive, so you can really just kind of get a grasp on it when you're testing and practicing, and it just gives you, I don't know, it gives you a less guilty feeling of messing up if it's just cheap makeup. So you can see I started to slowly and gradually make the lines a little bit thicker and bigger and wider. The best advice that I have for you guys for this would be to just work very slowly and just make it how you want it to look. You don't have to follow every single step that I'm doing here. Then I took a more kind of thin eyeliner brush that is also by Real Techniques. I get most of my brushes at Target or Ulta, and I am just starting to make the thinner lines to make kind of the teeth gaps. This took a while only because, like I said before, this face paint is pretty thin, so it did take a couple of coats to put on top to make it look a little more, I guess, sharp, I guess? I don't even know how I'm trying to explain this. I'm not good at explaining things, so that's why this doesn't make any sense. Anyways, you can see here I'm slowly kind of connecting the two lines, the teeth parts, to kind of just bring it together and make it look a little more smooth and like it belongs there. And then later on, I did match exactly what was on top onto the bottom so that it's the same. And so you get even amount of teeth. This was definitely tricky though, and it's been over a year since I've done Halloween makeup, or really a whole lot of makeup in general, so that's why this one took me forever to edit. And I tried to do a voiceover yesterday, and my mic wasn't working, and I couldn't get it to work, and so I gave up, and I went to sleep because I was in a bad mood. Anyways, oh, and here's Ozzy. Hello, kitty. Yeah, be quiet. So you can see in this picture right here how thin and like sheer it is. Oh my god, okay, you're gonna have to ignore my cat now too. So apparently it's not my day for filming a voiceover, but it's okay, we're going with it, we're winging it, and we are going step by step. Anyways, so this part took the longest just because trying to get it even and trying to get it to look nice. Then we're going in with my all-time favorite palette, which is the James Charles X Morphe palette. And I took the black shade with a kind of dense short eyeshadow brush, and we're just kind of setting the black face paint with this eyeshadow. This is just going to help darken it since that color really wasn't giving a whole much color payoff for this look. So I wanted to darken it up a lot so it really kind of added the depth and really gave that effect of a very large pumpkin skeleton mouth. We're kind of doing 2 in 1, but I'm actually like really happy with how this turned out. And I did end up kind of blending the teeth parts out with that same brush by setting it and kind of just smudging it on there, I guess. Then going back in with that same skinny eyeliner brush, we're gonna start adding the skeleton nose hole effect. I don't even really know what to call this. I call it the skeleton nose because it's a skeleton nose, but technically you're trying to make the illusion of a hole in your face. So we're just gonna call it a skeleton nose. That's good enough for me. Now, I don't know what it is about doing the skeleton makeup and like pumpkin makeup like this. I've done looks like this before, and for some reason, they're so satisfying to do, and I don't know why. Anyways, you can see me also setting that part. Anything that I basically put on my face that was face paint, I went in and set with the same color with an eyeshadow out of that James Charles palette. Then we're going to go back in with my favorite palette, and we're going to use a really kind of short, round, dense eyeshadow brush. And we're going in with the orange shade. Now this is the lightest orange. It looks yellow. I know it looked yellow on the palette, but I promise it's orange. And we are going in with the mouthpieces and anywhere, like the nose, everything, and we are shading under there. Now, the purpose to doing this is it's really going to add a lot of depth to the look. Now, it's kind of like when you're doing your makeup and, you know, you're doing your daily makeup and you put foundation on, you put everything else on, but you forget your blush and your contour. You're going to be really flat and you're going to look like a pancake, just like my boobs. But that's okay, we're learning and we're really just kind of we're really building it, and we're really adding shading, and we're adding the shadows, and we're really just pulling the look together and adding more depth. So it looks more realistic, and it looks more creepy, and it looks more scary. Then I went in with a MAC individual eyeliner in the shade Rust. Now I have had this eyeshadow for years, like beyond years, and this was my mom's before, and I don't know how long she had it for. So this eyeshadow should probably be thrown in the trash, but is my favorite orange eyeliner. I keep calling everything eyeliner. I don't even know how many times I've said that. Anyways, moving on. We are using that to add even more depth to the look. So right where everything is already orange, we are adding it really close to the black that's already there. So we're really just adding more depth, more color, and we're just going in with it. Now we are moving on to eyes, and we're going to start off with the NYX White Eyeshadow Primer Base. I don't know if that's actually what this is called, but that's what I call it because the logo has completely wiped away, so I couldn't even tell you what this is called. And then we're going to go in with a super fluffy brush. We are using the James Charles palette again in that lightest orange shade, and we are taking this super dense fluffy brush, and we are just throwing this all over our eyelid. On our eyelid, all the way up to our brow bone, and just blending the shit out of it. So this is just our base color. This is just going to make it a lot easier for when we add the dark colors later. Adding a base color is literally like the key to eyeshadow because it makes blending and kind of bringing those eyeshadow colors all together and becoming family. Now you can see this orange is like extremely bright. Also, I need to learn how to breathe when I'm doing voiceovers because like I run out of breath and then I feel awkward for taking a deep breath during the voiceover. But then I try to like do it in one take. I don't know how to properly do voiceovers, so please help me. So now taking a much smaller and much more dense eyeshadow brush, using the same orange shade that we used as our base color, we are just packing this all over our lid. Now, I know what you're gonna say is, well, why aren't you using a different color? Well, because that base is just super blended out, we're really just kind of adding the depth to the lid. So even though it is the same color, because we're packing it in, you're gonna see that color difference. And we're gonna take that same fluffy brush from before and blend the edge out into what's already blended out as our base shade. So you can see that it literally just blended out like butter. Like butter. Then we're going to take that same really kind of dense short brush and run it under our lower lash line. And please, God, don't forget your lower lash line. So important. Pulls the look together, completes the whole thing. Now going in with the same James Charles palette, but we're using the darker orange now and a super fluffy blending brush. So usually when I'm layering colors and trying to add depth, I like to start off with a super fluffy brush and then pack in some color and then go back in with a super fluffy brush, then pack in the color and then blend it all out again. So I kind of go back and forth with the brushes that I use. Now for this darker color, I am only keeping it out in the outer corner and into the crease of my eye. So number one, we can give our eye a really good shape, and number two, it's just gonna blend all those colors so well, and it's gonna make our eyes look more open. And then we're gonna go in with the Swamp Queen palette. This palette, oh my god, I love this palette. We're going with the top right orange shade, which I believe is called Dogman. I'm pretty sure I just remembered what that shade is called. And we are literally keeping that right in the outer corner, like just a touch of this color, and blending it all out again. And then I'm taking, like I said before, a much smaller and denser brush and packing it on top of what we've already blended out, and then blending that out yet again. And then later on I do add it to the bottom lash line so that we can add a little bit more depth. Now when I'm adding darker colors to the lash line, I like to blend the lighter colors out really far down, and then I put that darker color on top, but don't blend it out as far, so you really get the depth on top of the lid as well as the lower lash line. And then here I'm just blending everything out, and like I said, because we have that base shade and because we've been packing and blending and packing and blending, it's literally gonna blend out so easily. And if you guys want a video on blending eyeshadow tips, just let me know, because I have definitely become a little more confident in blending, and that has been the thing that I have worked on the hardest. So now we're using that same brush from before where we used to blend out that base eyeshadow color. And we are basically putting orange where we would normally contour. Obviously, we can't put contour on our cheeks because the mouth is kind of in the way, but that doesn't matter because we already shaded the mouth with the orange. So for this part, I basically just threw orange everywhere to tie the rest of my face and my neck together, because if you don't do this, it just kind of looks like something's missing. And then for the neck piece, I did take a much fluffier and not as dense brush to kind of just messily throw it down my neck. The neck part doesn't really have to be perfect, and I wanted to use face paint for this part, but eyeshadow for me, I'm just way more comfortable using it, and it's a lot easier to like blend together. And I kind of tried to shade it so it looked a little more skeleton, but in the end it kind of just all blended together. So the neck, I'm not super proud of, so just pretend like you don't see the neck. Okay, we good? Cool, on the same page? Anyways, you can see that I just keep going in, packing in that color, and then later on, I do believe, in a second here, I took an eyeliner and I just kind of created lines down the neck to kind of create pumpkins. I don't even really know where I went with that, but it's okay. So now we're going in with the NYX Precision Eyeliner Pen. My friend Mia actually recommended this to me because I didn't have enough money to get my, I believe it's Tarte Man-Eater. It could be Too Faced. I always get those two brands mixed up. But the Man-Eater eyeliner by Tarte, I'm gonna say Tarte because I'm pretty sure that's what it is like 20 something bucks, and I didn't really want to spend 20 something bucks on an eyeliner. So I asked my friend Mia, I was like, hey, I need a new eyeliner, and she does really great makeup. Her Instagram will be down below in the description if you guys want to follow her and check her out. But she recommended this, which is one that she uses, and I have been so extremely happy with this. It's definitely comparable to the Man-Eater. It's not the Man-Eater eyeliner, but when I'm on a budget, it definitely will suffice. So for this part, I just added 2 points to kind of match up with the mouth points, to kind of tie in the eyes together with the whole look. And then I really extended my inner corner as well as doing a nice vintage cat eye. This part was actually really fun. I really love doing eyeliner. I used to hate it, and I hate doing lashes, but we're gonna get to lashes in a little bit. So that's the eyeliner done, and we're almost finished with this look. But I took that same eyeliner and I started to kind of define all of the black lines because I felt like it lost a little bit of its definition. So on top of all that shading and stuff, I took that black eyeliner and I just went over the points, and then I also kind of touched up the nose a little because I think I scuffed it and the color went away. But then I also tied in that orange to the points under my eyes and blended it together so that it also matched what we did to our mouths. Now I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera because everybody has their own eyebrow routine. However, if you guys do want an eyebrow routine, just let me know down in the description. So then I used these eyelashes, which I'm not going to disclose how long I've had these for. And that is pretty much it for this look. As you can see, I added the lines to my neck off camera because I'm really not sure why I just added them like that, but it's okay because it turned out and it all kind of just worked. Now I am using the Better Than Sex mascara. I believe it's by Too Faced. Again, could be Tarte, but I'm not sure. And that is the look finished, you guys. I'm actually extremely proud of how this turned out. I'm sorry if this voiceover is like low-key kind of shit, but it's been a very long time since I've done a voiceover. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Stay for the outro and bloopers at the end.
Okay guys, so that is the end of this video. I am like low-key impressed with myself right now, only because it's been a very long time since I have done my makeup at all spooky like this. So this is definitely, I gotta warm back up to doing this stuff. However, I am extremely impressed with myself. The eyelashes, this one, there's always one that goes on better than the other, and this one was definitely the one for today. If you guys want to follow me on social media, that will all be linked down below in the description. If you want to see the rest of the Spooky Week videos, those will also be down below in a playlist or up in the top corner. If you want to see the upcoming spooky videos, subscribe to my channel so that you guys can see the rest of the ones for this year and then the ones for next year as well, because this is going to be a reoccurring thing. I'm super happy with how this looks. If you guys want to see the finished photos, just go to my Instagram, which I said is down below in the description. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. A big glass of milk. Me? A what? Chicken butt. Jamie, you are special. You are! It's a good thing, okay? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying you're special, bud. Jamin, I can't hear you. Is this a genuine fear of yours? Oh my god. Okay, Jamin. Put me back, okay? He needs help. I'm very confused, but I'm just gonna pretend like I don't hear anything.